Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Angela and today will be part 3 of my resume review series where I review 4 of your resumes every video. If you want a more in-depth resume consultation, I offer those on my Patreon, so go check it out at patreon.com/angelasunx3. Now let's jump straight into the video with today's resumes. Okay, so for this first resume, this person is a student who is graduating class of 2023. I hope Zoom University has been going well for you all semester. I mentioned this before, but I personally don't see any value in creating a profile. They are generally very vague and can fit into almost any person. For example, this person says student both as current position and personality trait, eager to learn, internalize, and apply new skills. That can be basically said about any person looking for a job. So if I were you, I would take out this entire profile section because there's much better use of that space. Now for your experience, I would rename this experience to say professional experience so that they know that is relevant to work. I would get rid of this sign that says that it's unpaid. It's fine if it's an unpaid internship. You don't need to specifically note it. I like how every single bullet here starts with an action verb. That's good, controlled, troubleshot, maintain, taught. What I would do here is I would make sure to expand each of these bullets to the end of the line. It just looks way too short and it doesn't include as much information. You wrote troubleshot technical issues with all electronics. There are ways that you can expand on this. For example, say specifically what type of technical issues, what types of electronics did you specifically work with? Be much more specific in your bullets and try to include numbers to the extent that you can. For example, you wrote taught the elderly. How many elderly did you teach exactly? Make sure to give examples and tangible examples so that people know exactly what you did during this job. Now for your education section, since you are a current student, I would actually move your education section all the way up. This is what you are doing full-time, a student. So this is going to be the experience that is most relevant to you currently, and this is what a recruiter is looking for. There's no need to write that you are a current student for the bullet point, and this is because you already said that you're expected to graduate in 2023, so it's just redundant. To the extent you can, include your GPA, include any SAT scores that you have as well. So what I think this resume is really missing is a leadership section. You're in school and it's almost expected that you've done some sort of extracurricular activities. For example, you did a few in high school that you can expand upon and make it an actual section. Since your work experience section is only one item, since you are still a student now, you should definitely have a leadership experience section where you talk about the extracurriculars that you're involved in. It's going to bulk up your resume a lot more and make it a lot stronger. Okay, so next resume. Upon first glance, something I'm noticing about this resume is that it's hard to differentiate where different sections are. I would add a line beneath each of these sections just to differentiate so someone can easily see that one part is the education section, one part is the work experience, etc. So make sure to add a line underneath each of those to really segment out your resume into those different sections so people can know where to look. So as for your work experience, I would just make sure to include bullets for every single work experience that you have on there. I know this is something that you started April 2021 and that it's a new role and that you may not have as many bullets to really put on there now, but I would definitely still include bullets if you are going to be sending this resume anywhere. Try to expand on bullets that seem too short. For example, you wrote computed invoices and oversaw billing process. Say specifically for how many different processes, or include some more information out there to really bulk up this bullet and make it more powerful. Over here, you wrote performed research and wrote articles to make company's content strategy. you really want to focus in on what industries they were in, what types of reports, what types of articles did you write. Very small note here on your extracurriculars, just make sure that every single bullet starts with something that is capitalized. Again, I would definitely expand on the teaching assistant one. Talk about what topics you covered, what class was this, why were you selected, was it because you were the top student in your previous class? You want to almost be bragging about yourself in these bullets instead of just stating simply what you did. For your language skills and interests, I love how you included a line specifically on languages. That's something that a lot of companies look for, especially global companies. So it's great that you have a very clear line here that says that. For your skills, to the extent you can, try to expand on that line so it doesn't just seem like you have 2 skills. And same thing for your interests, you definitely want to expand on this line. The interest section is one of the most important lines on your resume. It is a conversation starter and it is a way for you to stand out from a lot of other applicants. By putting more interest, it just increases the chance that you're going to have something in common with your interviewer that isn't specifically related to the job. For example, if you love that you enjoy exploring restaurants, your interviewer might be an avid foodie as well, and instead of going over technical questions for your interview, you could just be talking about restaurants that you guys both enjoy in the city. Moving on to the next resume. For this person, upon first glance, one thing that I noticed is that this person only included years for each of their experiences. However, my recommendation is to actually include the months that you were involved in. This person included 2 months and 4 months to show the duration of time, but still, regardless, you want to show the months just to show what you were doing during the school year. Was this a summer internship? Was this during the fall? You want it to be very clear with the month and the year. I think that this person can save on a lot of room just by moving this entire section with the years all the way to the right of this page so that instead of an indent, all of the bullets start from left to right. It'll make it seem less like such a huge block of text and much more like individual bullets, because right now it's a little bit hard to read because everything is clumped together. I do like how this person is very specific in their bullets. They included numbers to the extent that they could. For example, analyze 10 plus financial commodities. I think that that is great. Same thing with this person's extracurricular activities. All of them have numbers and percentages everywhere, and that is what a recruiter or anyone who's looking at your resume loves to see because it shows something that is tangible. As for additional information, I also like how this person included a certificate section. That's not something that a lot of people commonly include, but if you do have certificates, this is a great opportunity to showcase them and show your employer that you do have certifications necessary for the job. For your hobbies and your skills, I would actually expand on both of these. Like I said, for the previous resume, it's good to expand on both your skills and your interests as much as possible because it just gives more talking points with the interviewer, and it's almost expected that you can fill up one whole line of skills and one whole line of interests. Now, speaking of skills, I think that this is a great opportunity to segue into today's sponsor for the video, and that is DataCamp. DataCamp is an online learning platform that makes it easy to build data skills. There's no previous data skills you need to get started, and DataCamp has courses for all different skill levels, from data fundamentals and visualization to data science coding courses in Python, R, and SQL. I saw that a bunch of the resumes I reviewed today actually had proficiency in R as a skill set. These types of coding courses are super powerful skill sets to include on your resume because there's so many jobs that need them. One class I found that's super relevant is called Financial Modeling in Spreadsheets. It's taught by Erin Buchanan, and it's great for learning basic business modeling such as cash flows, annuities, loan amortizations. Invest in yourself. Use my link in the description box below and check out the first chapter of any course for free. So upon first glance for this next resume, I really like the format. Everything is segmented out really clearly, and it looks like every single line goes from the left border all the way to the right border. So this person is expected to graduate from college in May 2023. One thing that I would just include here is the start date of when this person actually started. It may very well be a 4-year undergraduate program, but who knows? Just make sure that you would include that. For your relevant coursework, this is a lot. I would really reduce this to maybe only 3 to 4 classes that you think are particularly relevant. You can cater this to the jobs that you're doing. If you're doing an investment banking job, you can cater your relevant coursework specifically to that. And if you are looking for a job in sales and trading, you can cater your relevant courses to that specifically. Overall, each of these bullets are good. I think that they are specific and that they tell you exactly what you are doing during this job. Each of them starts with an action verb, and I see that you do try to include numbers to the extent that you can here. And even through your leadership and involvement, you do show that you have relevant experience in your extracurriculars. For example, here you wrote that you built a 3-statement financial model in a separate course that you took, and this is a great way to highlight some of your relevant experiences even outside of professional experiences. The main thing that I would add here is that rather than having a section specifically called interests, I would have this entire section focus on interests and skills as well. I would definitely include a line for skills because nowadays, that's something that recruiters just look for on resumes, and it's something that almost every person has, so you definitely do not want to miss out on having that line item. So rather than having proficiencies up here, I would definitely move that down here into your skills section so that people know exactly where to find it, because everyone just looks at the bottom of the resume for their skills and their interests, especially since not every skill that you do is directly related to your education. So move that one down. So I personally had a great time reviewing your resumes today. Thank you so much for sending them in. If you'd still like to send one in, send it to angela.sun@gmail.com. Email address will be right here. Thank you guys so much for watching, and please remember to give this video a big thumbs up. If you enjoyed it, comment down below what you think, or if you email me your resume, or if you'd like to get your resume reviewed. I offer those same services on my Patreon at patreon.com/angelasunx3 if you want something that's more private and more in-depth. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!